Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is. Welcome to 10 Forward, where we are going to have some fun talking all kinds of crazy things geek and have some fun with that. So before that, though, for you folks, I am NB Geek, and co-hosting with me is one of my favorite guys on Twitter, the guy who makes the Twitter trolls cry and mops the floors with his tears, Jack Beers,
Hello.
with special
And
guest Bones in the background.
yes, Bones is back.
Bones is
Yeah, I
back, everybody. For those of you
yeah.
who don't know, Bones comes out around this time every year to hang out with us.
hmm He doesn't
And
say much. He's still a little shy.
yeah, he's pretty stiff.
Yeah,
Might be a little under the weather.
probably.
But so yeah, folks, we're here. We're gonna just have some fun. We really didn't come up with a topic ahead of time. We'd been pitching things back and forth, so it's just kind of like, we're just gonna wing it today. One thing I will want to say to people: if you are watching my uploads you've recently seen, they are all heavily political. I decided not to incorporate them on my second channel. In fact, I pretty much haven't even used it. I've just been making short videos of my personal views on politics and what's going on. I'm a heavily political guy. My views are pretty much known by most people that I am also conservative. I am also, like my wife, a 20-year military veteran. So this shit that was going on, that has been going on with Afghanistan, folks, it has affected a lot of the veterans, the families of veterans, their communities, their mental health. So if you know anyone out there who is having issues with this, don't take it lightly. You know, talk to them, listen to them, see if they need to get help. And if you're a veteran or family of a veteran, call the crisis hotline, call the call the VA mental health, just talk there. If you can't get a hold of them, look it up. There are organizations out there that will take the time to listen and hear. I don't want to hear of any more people dying because they feel depressed because of what happened. Uh, I'm angry about it. I'm still angry. I make no bones about it. But I'm reaching out with people in my community, veterans I know, active duty I know, and we are helping each other. And if you know anyone who's going through that, you know, and if you're struggling with this, it's okay to talk. It's okay to say you're angry. Trust me, you're going to get a lot of people who are going to listen. Screw politics aside. I'm talking about my fellow Americans here. We have to take care of each other. Skip the politics stuff. Just realize we're still veterans, the families of veterans, the Gold Star families. We're still regular people too. And sometimes things affect us deeply. And this has been one of them for many of us, especially for people like me and my wife and many others who that war was our entire career, virtually our entire careers. And then I know so many people who, were babies or not even born when 9/11 happened. And, they're in the service now. So and some of them went over there. They were going to the same place, we were going when I was 19. It just bothers me. And it's bothered a lot of people. So anyway, enough of that, but I wanted to shout that out because this is a real thing. This is how a lot of us are feeling. Some are handling it better than others. Yeah. Hey, Carl, how you doing, buddy?
Hello,
Hope
Carlo.
everyone's Yeah, we're doing as best we can. But like I said, I've got Jack here. I've got a beer here. Ironically, Jack Beers. I got my little wacky tobacco and my regular tobacco, so I'm good.
Yeah, I just got my mango strawberry drink that I'm already halfway done with.
And probably got a bowl next to you.
Oh yeah, right here.
Oh, nice. It's a nice green one. Hey,
Yeah,
what
it's
made you come up?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, hold on a second. Well, Carlo, I can imagine so. It's what, 10 o'clock there in the UK, maybe a little later. So, hey, man, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. And stay as long as you can. Uh, must be a hard time with what has happened. Yeah, Carlo, it is. For me and a lot of other people I know, yeah, it is. But like I said, we are reaching out. I'm encouraging people to reach out. So definitely. That's what we're doing. But anyway, let's talk about some happy stuff. So what made you do I figure let's go with this. So for those of you who don't know, if you're not following Jack Mears on Twitter, sometimes does one, he makes Twitter trolls cry like little bitches. And it's some of the funniest shit you'll ever read in a feed. Sometimes I've had so much fun, I've shown up.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
Milton, how you doing, buddy? It's good to
Hello,
see you.
Milton.
What's up? What's up, AppWebs? But so if you don't know, what you can do is check out his Twitter. He's doing these with his Geek Toys, doing little stages and doing like little comments and stuff. And they are
Yes.
really, really funny. They are all the so the one he just did was basically Rocket, and basically, if you look at my, you had one where it was Rocket holding Baby Groot, and you got Baby Yoda Grogu over here. And I know I made that comment. Is like Groot food he is. Eat him, I will.
Yes, I was like, for the last time, Groot's not food. Stop trying to eat him. Like I was trying to picture something that he would say in his like I could picture him, in his voice saying, and that's what came out. And then of course with Grogu, it's just like he doesn't say anything, so it's just like baby noises. I also I went ahead and brought my
oh, you my boy Blue.
Yes, Blue from Jurassic World holding He-Man's sword and skateboarding on a Batmobile. The other half I left inside, but the other half was Raphael on another Batmobile.
I told you Alfred's gonna be pissed when they come back.
Oh, I know. And then here's
that would get even better.
Showing them off.
If you actually had a toy Alfred, and you could get his hands to do like the scene like that and do his hands like this, oh, that'd just be icing on the cake.
That's something I realized. I think yesterday I was going through the toy lots, and I was like, they got 20 different versions of Batman from all these different universes that you can buy, which is great. But like, where's the Alfreds? And
they never. I'm starting to wonder if they've ever done it. Like, have they ever done a
Alfred action figure?
Alfred action figure? Have they ever done one? I mean, maybe they did in TA. Maybe they did for a TAS.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have remembered Alfred in from TAS, but that might be the only way. And if that is, that's fine. That would be the one I'd want to get, because that's the one that looks mostly like Alfred from the comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I have to look that up and see if they had that. The other thing I did yesterday, I still have it this way.
I saw somebody's comment on that.
Like the fact that he's the fat Thor from Endgame, I love it. Right? It looks like Chris Hemsworth and everything. And just the fact that he conjures lightning, I was just like, what if I just replaced his Mjolnir with He-Man's sword? And it's definitely his because it's got Skeletors on the back here.
Yeah.
They had some lightning stuff.
So you've got Stormbreaker in his hands. Did you have Stormbreaker in the picture too, or was it
no,
Mjolnir?
It was Mjolnir.
Yeah, I thought it was Mjolnir.
Yeah. And so I have Mjolnir too, but I figured I'd replace it with Stormbreaker because it just looks better, I guess.
Yeah, right, Carlo. I have the power.
That's basically what he said in the captions. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the caption too. And then what was it? Somebody said, I thought it was so hilarious. They were like, "Now you're approaching a blasphemy."
Yeah. I thought that was funny.
I thought that was hilarious. That was just so funny. So yeah, guys, if you want, seriously, check out his Twitter. Way Too Many Beers. I mean, these are some fun photos, and the captions are great. And some of the comments we put in just add to the hilarity of it when we see those. Because every time Jack puts one of those up and I see them, one, I show my wife, because she loves looking at. She loves them, and two, I always try to come up with some snappy comment to go with it.
Right.
Hence why I
Yeah.
said Alfred's going to be pissed.
Yeah, and then I'm almost done with the set here. Well, the set of 4, but this might be a spoiler. But I have the 2 elder
Yep, I remember you
Winston
telling me you got those.
and Peter, and well, I just need to get Ray. I do have an Egon, but it's not an older Egon. It's just a normal Egon. It came with like the first wave was just the normal Ghostbusters with from the movie, and then like Sigourney Weaver and all the other characters, and then the second wave is this as the Afterlife figures, which it's the kids, which I'm not sure if I'm going to watch the movie before I decide whether or not I'm going to get the kids, and then of
Yeah,
course
that's
the elder
understandable.
Ghostbusters. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
the elder.
I can
Yeah,
totally understand that.
yeah.
All right. Well, hey, listen, if anybody wants to join the conversation, like I said, we're winging it. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in StreamYard. You guys are welcome. Resolute, you are more than welcome to come on. Milton, you're welcome to come on too. Jack has been a co-host with me for over a year, off and on. He's also been on several other guest panels. So where's some of the other places people have found you? Weren't you on didn't I see you on Orville Nation at one time?
I've been on Orville Nation. I stream a lot with Alicia now, not recently, now that we're dating. And that's basically it. Yeah. Just those 3 for now.
Yep. No worries there. Totally understand that. But yeah, I mean, we always have a lot of fun when we get together. We talk, we chat, we just, mostly we have topics. I know we haven't been talking lower shits because, well, you've been talking about it. I haven't been watching it.
Right. Yeah. No, it's the same. They've reset everything. Remember how we kind of liked how the first season ended. The first
Yes.
We kind of liked how it ended because they took it seriously. There were actual stakes. And they actually did something nice for Boimler for once. They actually promoted him and sent him to the Titan. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was fine. They reset all that. They reset all that to where like they cloned Boimler in a transporter thing the same way they did with Will Riker and Thomas Riker. And so so Will was like, one of you has to go back to the Cerritos. And of course they sent one of them back and
what, they send the ensign back?
Well, no, they sent them. They promoted him, sent him to the Titan, and then he had a transporter accident. So now there was 2 of them. So what they did was they kept one. The Titan kept one of them, and sent the other one back to the Cerritos as an ensign again. Like they even said as an ensign. It was like, really? Why do you have to demote him? He earned that shit. But
Oh, seriously?
yeah. So they reset everything.
Hold on a second. Let me introduce Milton here.
Yes. Okay.
Milton, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Shit's going good. I'm enjoying life in the sticks. Jack's enjoying life in California. How about you? How are things where you're at?
Pretty good. I think we're out of compulsory, not allowed to shop at the moment. Literally worse than home detention.
Oh, I gotta tell you this, man. Jack, this is so funny. I just remembered. I meant to tell So when I was coming back from the dispensary in Illinois, so I have to cross into Indiana to go. So I'm driving back home, and literally one of my neighbors already has all their Halloween shit out.
That's basically me.
They've already got their stuff out too.
I even went and bought like some Freddy glove. This is a very uncomfortable Freddy glove. It makes your hands like this. You can't really. I got to get another one, but I bought it because it was the deluxe version. Deluxe meaning it was shiny.
It's like the one from Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
I guess a little bit, but yeah, it's. I got that. I got the Freddy hat.
What is Halloween?
Oh, Halloween is a is it's not a holiday, but it's a day where people dress up and they trick or treat, or they do Halloween parties. Um, they dress up as whoever. You can dress up as
Think
ghosts
of it as the
or
one day normies do cosplay.
sure,
Oh, so a bunch of fairies running around.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
gonna be fun. I mean, hey, the one thing I like about it is, hey, Bones is back out.
yeah. Bones is back. I got my my skull and crossbones up. I started putting up. I have the lighting down, but I got to. I need the fog machine. I need a fog machine
Yeah.
and one more light, and I think I'll be complete.
I'm going to
I'll be
get
nice.
another Crazy Bones teddy bear this year.
Say
Because
again?
teddy bear skeletons are cool. I'm going to get another Crazy Bones teddy bear this year because teddy bear skeletons are cool.
There you go. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan to me, buddy.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds like a plan. What was this? It's to let people realize there's nothing to be afraid of in the darker months. Just the drunk people in costumes.
Right.
But aren't we all afraid of them all the time?
Oh my God, I've been to a few of those Halloween raves, man. They get a little crazy. I mean, it's like sometimes they can feel like Woodstock in costume.
It's like I've never seen a breakdancing Power Ranger before until I went to one of those things.
Which
Oh my
Power Ranger?
fucking God,
The red
that's
one.
awesome.
Man, an American Halloween party, especially an adult one. See, I'm not talking about the kid ones. We all thought those were fun until we got to the adult parties and realized, ooh, this is where the real fun begins.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, like, and then on top of that, just it's the movies. I love watching the movies. I love the like Hocus Pocus and Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas is, I don't know if I mentioned these, that's one of my daughter's, if not my daughter's favorite movie.
Oh,
Uh,
it's definitely up there with me.
If
It's my favorite Tim Burton movie. That's true, definitely.
yeah, I think you mentioned that. You know me, I'm kind
And
of
he
like,
did, and Tim Burton did Batman, so
yeah, and I'm a
What? Tim
passive
Burton
fan.
did Batman?
No,
yeah,
Tim
Tim
Burton
Burton.
did the '89 Batman.
Yeah, the 1989
That
one with
sounds
Michael
that
Keaton.
sounds a bit gross.
You have to understand something about Tim Burton, though. He's kind of niche.
Yeah, his
He's
style
like,
is very particular.
well, thank you,
Especially if he's
Resolute.
going to do Batman.
Yeah, he's got a very particular gothic style that he puts in his movies.
Edward Scissorhands.
Edward,
Actually,
yep, Edward
here's
Scissorhands as
one
well.
I really liked that didn't get a lot of fanfare from, but I actually enjoyed his Dark Shadows movie. I really did.
Dark Shadows. I remember.
I
Yeah, that was good.
really enjoyed that movie.
That was good. A Corpse's Bride. Corpse's. So that was
good.
I had never seen it until last year, and I don't know why. Like it just left. It wasn't never on my radar, and then I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, like I should see this, and I watched it, and I was like, oh my God, it's so good. Why did I miss this?
I still haven't seen it yet. I'm going to be honest. I need to go ahead and do like, I think next time my daughter visits, I'm going to do a back-to-back. Put on Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride. Because I know she'll watch both of them. I absolutely
Oh yeah.
like for example, anytime I see something that has Nightmare Before Christmas on, like when I went to the parking lot sale at the Retro Toy Store I told you about, I picked up Jack Pumpkin and who's his girlfriend?
Shelley.
Okay.
I think her
I
name.
picked them
Sally.
both up. Yeah, I picked them both up specifically for her, and she loves it. I mean, anytime I find something Nightmare Before Christmas, if I can find something she doesn't have, man, she absolutely loves it.
Awesome. Yeah.
What about you? What about you, Milton? What do you like about Tim Burton movies? Are you familiar with many of them?
I don't really look at directors, to be honest.
Okay.
I recently found out some guy called Johnny Depp is Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yes, Johnny Depp. Well, he was Captain Jack Sparrow. I think now they've I think he's been canceled or something like that recently. So
I think people forget he was in the first A Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
yes, he was. He was the bed blender.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think, yeah. And then he did a cameo in, I believe,
Freddy's
Freddy's
Dead.
The Final Nightmare. Yes.
He did
that.
he was the
He
this
did
is
the
your
public
brain, this
service
is your brain on
announcement
drugs.
commercial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Freddy hits him with a pan and says, "Hey,
Yeah.
what are you on? Looks like a frying pan, some eggs to me. Hey, Spence, let's trip out."
There-
See, now I'm quoting him.
there
I better put a hat on or something, or the glove.
there is a movie with only 2 actors in it that you guys really should watch. It's called A Dark Song.
A Dark
A Dark-
Song.
Basically what I used to do when I was 17.
Interesting.
It's
This
It's
is a
2
very
people.
uncomfortable glove.
What
Go ahead.
are you trying to do? Double
Hey.
hats here?
it'd be
Anyways, I'm
good for
sorry. Go
back
ahead.
scratching. It'd be good for back scratching.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Nah, not that. It's not that good. It's not sharp, so it's like
Oh, you need it razor sharp.
I know. Like I've seen YouTube videos where these people share their Freddy collection, and they have a collection of Freddy gloves from each movie because each glove was different, and so and these guys paid like up to $500 to get these gloves made.
I
Imagine
know.
Freddy as a pimp.
I
I
know
feel
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Purple Valkyrie, who runs Rise of the Purple Valkyrie. I've done videos with her before, but when she's on camera, sometimes I've noticed she has this Freddy Krueger glove that is just like always over her shoulder. And I've told her at times, I'm like, some reason I keep thinking that thing is gonna move. I'm like, I just look at it, I'm like, it's just like, you're thinking, I'm looking like if the lighting tricks her a little bit, I'm like, looks like it moved just a little bit, it's kind of crazy. It's like if you had one of those, it's like one of my early streams
Oh,
where,
that'd be a good idea. Get like an animatronic hand, put the glove in it, and then every so often just like have a finger move.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
you could, I mean, I'm pretty sure you could. I think there is somewhere out there has got to be a Freddy glove that is animatronic for you to have a remote with.
Right. Yeah, you can just do like random things like that or whatever.
That would freak the
Kung
shit
fu
out of
this
people.
bitch.
Milton, do you have a particular, because let's think about this. Since we're talking about horror and we seem to be going this way, the evolutions of horror, if you look at the different decades, kind of changed with times. I think from the 30s to 60s maybe be the exception. They kind of stayed with a similar formula. But then right around the 70s is when certain, things started to change. And then, we got the 80s. That was the real big birth of the slasher era.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think most of us, well, me being 41, that was kind of what we grew up on in horror, was that kind of a slasher thing. That was what we were used to. So,
Right.
thinking about the different horror serial killers we've had, Milton, what do you have a favorite?
My biggest role model in the whole genre would probably have to be Jason. I mean, everybody should strive to be him and be like him.
Yeah. Mine's obvious. Freddy.
Ooh, Carlo brings up one I haven't thought of in a long time.
Phantasm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The Puppet
That's a
Master.
video game
Yeah,
now, I
Puppet
think.
Master is another good one.
Puppet Master. Hellraiser.
Hellraiser,
about The
yes.
Ring?
Oh, by the way, for those of you who don't know, we'll make a Star Trek reference here. The guy who played Garrick was in Hellraiser. He was also in the second Pump. Also, here's one I want to get. I really want to get a decent sized Pumpkinhead. That was one of my favorites growing up. Was the Pumpkinhead movie? It was low budget, but damn it, that thing did look scary as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice. Definitely.
Hello, not Ryan Johnson. Welcome.
Hello.
Uh, Carlo, I don't think I've seen a Phantasm since the fucking 90s. That's how far back I think it's been for me since I've seen a Phantasm movie. Puppet Master, I think I saw a while back. I'll tell you one that's really good, though. Oh, I forgot now. Never mind. Anyway, so we were talking about our favorites. So what did you like about Jason Milton? What was your big thing about his movies that was your favorite part?
His moral sensibility and his good conduct with other individuals within the community, and the way how he was just loving and willing to embrace everyone.
The fact that you were able to say all that and not start, I doubt you could have said that with a straight face, but still, that was good.
Yeah, I mean, Jason would have to be one of my greatest role models alongside Freddy Krueger and the Blair Witch from the Blair Witch Project.
Do you have a particular Friday the 13th movie you like? Any of them your favorites? Because I'm going to be honest, if I was going to pick my favorite, I think 3 was my favorite. I think that was because it was the first time he's, got the hockey mask on.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Also, I would also say I like Jason Goes to Hell as well.
Are you guys sober enough to know what Jason movie you're watching at any given time? I like watching it really drunk.
I enjoy the first Wishmaster was a really good movie. I really enjoyed that movie.
I'm not sure I saw that one.
I don't know if I got a chance to show you this, Jack.
Okay.
But, dude, I found him. I don't know if you saw it, but I found him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yes.
I grabbed that sucker up so fast when I walked in there and saw Stripe. I was like, do you have any idea how long I've been looking for this? I was like, that was just, I
need to get at least one of those and Gizmo. I need to get definitely Gizmo. Oh. Gizmo is, I love Gizmo. You have Gizmo. Nice.
That's what, why do you think I was fighting? Why do you think I was going like crazy trying to find Stripe?
Right.
I wanted Stripe. I was like, I got a couple of caroling gremlins from the first movie, but not Stripe, and that was the one I was really trying. And they said, yeah, man, when Stripe comes in or Gizmo comes in, they freaking go.
Oh yeah,
I like the Gremlin movies. I like the Gremlin movies, except that one scene with the Gremlin with the big lips and the big tits. That disturbs me to this day.
I saw that one. I saw that one in the store. I at the time I had already bought too much, and I didn't have any money. I didn't have the money to do it because I had already bought a bunch of stuff. But I was going to get it next time, and then next time it was gone. So
I would have ran in the opposite direction.
Oh, I can easily get you a Mrs. Gremlin. That's the one they usually have at the toy store.
Right. I saw that there's a video. There's a Tested. Adam Savage Tested. There's a video where he actually gets to see that animatronic, the lady Gremlin, and they're restoring. They're like restoring it, and so like the guy who's restoring it is explaining how he's doing it and stuff like that. And yeah, it's held up pretty good. Like a lot of those Gremlins, like they held up pretty well.
Hey, Potato Revan, buddy, how you doing? How's life in Ireland?
My Irish friend won't talk to me at the moment.
We what's this? At least in horror genre, evil believes in diversity and inclusion. It'll kill everyone. Oh,
yeah, yep.
Not Ryan Johnson. Boom.
You're right. You're right.
he brings up a good point, Jack. Real quick,
Yeah.
because there were so many people. You know what? They were pissed about the second It movie because it killed two gay characters. I'm like, at least they're inclusive.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
You,
and go ahead.
if you guys if you guys want a really screwed up horror movie, really screwed up, because it actually follows the movie down to the letter, right? And it's called The Dark Song, and it literally goes through the Abramelin ritual from Aleister Crowley. It goes through the whole thing step by step, and during out the whole thing, it just gets more and more screwed up until eventually she ends up leaving the house after killing the guy. And long story short, like that is something to scare the living shit out of occultists because
Right.
it's just too real.
Hmm.
I'll have to take a. Well, I'll definitely take a look at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that.
But
What's it called
speaking
again?
of which, oh shit, there went my fucking vape.
What was it called again? I'm gonna
I
look it
think he
up.
said Dark Souls. Milton, did
Okay.
you say Dark Souls? Are you still here, Milton? You're still showing here.
Okay. Well, okay. He'll be back, I guess.
He might be having audio issues. What about
I have my.
or- oh,
It's called A Dark Song. It's
type
called
it
A
in.
Dark Song, and there's only two actors in it.
A Dark Song.
Okay.
Okay, A Dark Song. Okay. What about you, Jack? The slasher era. Did you have a particular one you loved the most that just kind of was your
Well,
favorite?
well, of course, Freddy. My favorite Freddy movies, I would say, would be the first one, um, and Freddy's Dead. I'd say maybe. I liked the play they did on it. I remember as a little kid, I just remember this guy with a burned face telling a bunch of jokes and killing people, and just telling a bunch of jokes. And
Sounds good to me.
oh yeah, he was a comedian. Like, well, no, he wasn't really a comedian in the first one, but over time, when they kept making more and more movies, he got more and more comedic. And
That
so
really
by
started in the that really started in the third movie. That's really when
right,
the humor started coming in.
yeah,
Because if you look at Freddy from the first movie and then you look at the second movie is actually even more brutal and he's more
oh
violent
yeah,
over the top.
yeah.
And
Although
then in the third movie,
it breaks that second movie breaks a lot of his rules, though.
yeah, exactly.
That's
That's
one.
why
Yeah,
I skip it.
I normally do too. It's not my favorite one.
I My favorites, honestly, is what I call the trilogy, the Dream trilogy.
Oh yeah, the Dream trilogy.
The Dream Warrior,
Those,
the Dream Master, and the Dream Child. I think those are fucking just well done. And they feel like a trilogy when
yes,
you
they
really
do.
watch them. And they almost feel they even feel like a completed trilogy. Even though, of
Yeah,
course, they have that typical at the end thing. And I always loved it. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for
right. The
you.
song.
Yeah.
There's I used to look up. There's YouTube video. There's a YouTube channel with a guy who play. He does like almost like a prequel type series of Freddy Krueger before he died. Like they show him like his obsession with kids and stuff like that, and then he starts killing them, and then of course they go through the trial. He gets caught, trial. He gets let go. They burn the house. He dies, and then he kills his first victim, and that's where the series ends. But the guy does such a good job at channeling Freddy Krueger. Like he feels like Robert Englund. You know what I mean?
Um, and yeah, one of the things now I know Carlo brought up the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I did not
Series.
actually see too many episodes of that. The one I saw the most of was the Friday the 13th series that, of course, had nothing to do with the actual movies, but the show was just fucking great. He focused on like possessed objects and stuff.
Have you seen the what is it called? It's a show that it's an Evil Dead show with Bruce Campbell and everything, but it's I can't remember
Ash
what they call it.
versus
Ash versus the Evil Dead. Have you seen that?
yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The Evil Dead movies are not my thing.
You don't like those?
Uh,
I really don't. I've seen them. I've seen both Evil Deads. I've seen Army of Darkness, and I did watch the few episodes of the show. It's not for me. It's not
Okay.
my kind of thing. Hey, but you guys talk about that real quick. I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'm gonna go grab my other beer real quick. I'll be right back.
Ash
Mhm.
versus the Evil Dead. It did. I really like the delicate sensibilities and the good down to earth culture that it brings into communities amongst the kind hearted individuals and how they're embraced with a chainsaw hand.
Yeah, I love just how it's like gory and bloody as it was in the 80s and stuff like that, and then but it's modern. So you
I,
got these they bring in these kids and they got their cell phones and shit, but um but then they really get into it. Like, I love how what's his name, Julio, I think his name is, or whatever, how like he gets really into his like powers and stuff like that.
I did
I
not
thought that
know
was
there was new ones, but I just hope that it brings to life a realistic depiction of ceremonial magic as what the previous movie did.
Oh yeah, and it's
And
got you're right, and it's got the Necronomicon. It's got it's got Ash with the chainsaw. It's got him saving Groovy Baby. You know,
I know
he
people that believe that sort of stuff is real.
Hey,
really.
I'm gonna be the first one to admit there are. Hey, don't get me wrong. There are good parts to the Evil Dead movies, the Army of Dark. I mean, I will watch them again. I have no problem watching them. They're just not something I would put on myself. So if somebody else had it on, they want to watch it, yeah, I'd watch it with them. And yeah, there were some great parts. I love I actually love the end of Army of Darkness with "All Hail the King, baby."
Oh yeah, that
And
was good.
I use that. I sometimes pull that meme up a lot just for fun. It's like, "All Hail the King, baby," and it's really good. I mean, he's a great actor. Don't get me wrong. And the
Oh
guy
yeah,
who did the and we have to remember the guy who did this was Sam Raimi, the guy who did Spider Man.
yep.
Hence, one of the reasons why he was a cameo in all three of the movies.
Yes, I was gonna mention that. And by the way, we might as well talk about this. Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okay.
It completely relates. Because you got Doc Ock in there now. Like, that was. Um, were you surprised to see the original Doc Ock at the end of that trailer?
I was shocked.
Yeah, like that
That
was
was
awesome.
actually, I'm going to be honest,
I,
that's what
I
completely sold me on wanting to see the movie now.
I was trying to process whether or not that pumpkin ball was the same one from the movies. And then as soon as like I came to the conclusion it looked like so, yeah, Doc Ock's face popped up. I'm like, oh, like,
And I think I know why they picked him. I think I know why they picked him to be the one because Spider Man 2 is considered a superior sequel, not something you get very often. And he was one of the absolutely most loved villains of any of the Spider Man movies we've done so
oh
far.
yeah, and he was one of those redeemed villains too, because if you
Yeah.
remember how it ends, he sacrifices himself. So
Uh, to answer your question, not Ryan Johnson, no, I have not seen the ending of Army of Darkness. I didn't even know there was an. I've never heard anybody ever talk about that.
yeah, I'm
What,
not familiar with
what
it
about you,
either.
Milton? What'd you think of No Way Home?
No Way Home. I think that this is literally the first time I've heard of it. But I liked the delicate sensibilities of the characters.
Have you seen? Did you see the three Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies?
I saw a Spider-Man movie when I was a kid. I wasn't too impressed by Spider-Man, so I moved on.
Ah, okay. No worries
Men,
there.
men in tight leotards don't really do it for me, but if it does it for you, I mean that's okay.
Maybe it's because I don't like. Maybe I just like the feel of tight clothes against me. No, actually, no, that's not true. I hate tight clothing. Absolutely hate tight clothing. You're muted, Jack.
I just always been a
Jack.
fan of Spider-Man, ever since I was a kid. So when the movies came out, I was just out of high school. Actually, I joined the military that year, 2003, I think, or 2002, one of those years. But yeah, it was such a good movie. Like like back then, the CG, you can tell now, but back then it was so good.
Well,
Um,
think about this. This is what I think about the first Spider-Man movie. Now, I have my issues with Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, but that's mainly because he seemed like he couldn't really get the different personalities together. Whereas he played a really good Peter Parker, but
mhm.
his Spider-Man quips weren't there. That was
Right.
my issue.
That's what
That
they.
was my issue, but to me it was a minor issue. I let it go pretty easily. I thought
Yeah.
he did overall a great job with it,
Yeah.
and it was like I would compare it to that trailer was like what people saw when they saw the first Superman movie with Christopher Reeves. You know, it was like you're going to believe a man can fly, whereas this was like we're actually looking like we're going to get Spider-Man, and he's going to actually flip and move and feel like Spider-Man. And I mean, that was something that 10 years prior wouldn't have even been possible.
Right. Right. Yeah. There was a lot of people that said that like they liked Toby's Peter Parker, but not necessarily his Spider-Man. Whereas they liked Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, but not his Peter Parker. So if you took Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and I'm starting to get the names mixed up.
Tobey
Toby Maguire,
Maguire.
Toby Maguire's Peter Parker, put them together, they'd probably be the superior Spider-Man.
Actually, I'm in that same camp. I've been in that camp myself, where I said, if they could have combined Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, that would have been
Yeah, because
something awesome. Yeah, it would have been awesome. I thought.
yeah, he
But
was doing all those quips and everything, just like they used to in the cartoon and in the comics and stuff. I love that. I love that. Um,
I mean,
I
when
also
he did his whole thing, oh my God, you found my weakness, sharp object.
yes.
And I will say this: Andrew Garfield had the superior webbing effects.
I agree.
The way he was moving with the webbing and stuff. I didn't care about the organic versus the machine. I'm like, take your pick. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
That's
that's
too
fine.
minor an issue. That to me is too low hanging.
I was fine with either one. Actually, yeah,
But
because
I
there were,
did think,
yeah, like in the first one they were talking about like resequencing DNA and everything, and that's basically what happens to Peter Parker when he gets bit. His DNA is resequenced, and suddenly he's got these powers, and in Toby's case, he could put out webbing.
That's not how
see,
genetics work. If that
I
happened to your
I know.
DNA, you'd die.
I know. It's a movie that I just let that go.
Dave G.
I'm
Sounds
just
good to
saying,
see
in
you,
movies,
buddy.
they
How's things
shouldn't let
going?
it go.
How are things going in DC, buddy? Hope everything's good. Hope you're safe. I don't know if you guys got any of that flooding from Ida. I know some people in New York who did. So let me know if
Oh,
anything
okay.
good, bad, and different, buddy. Because Ida was a real pain in the ass, apparently, all up and down. I
Oh
got
yeah, I
lucky.
heard.
I got lucky. Ida's rain, most of its rain and everything, went completely the opposite direction of me. But it could have easily have come my way. It could have gone left instead of right. But
Has there been flooding in New York? I should bring my friend in New York.
Yeah, there
yeah,
was
actually, I know
flood.
a
I heard
buddy of
there was
mine who
flooding in
had
New York.
yeah, I know a buddy of mine. He had to get some help for his garage because there was some flooding in his garage. But
I mean, the only message I've sent to my friend in New York in the last 2 days is nobody loves you, and nobody ever will.
Sounds like something you would say.
But yeah, I was fine
Not
with the
Ryan
webbing.
Johnson. Yeah, not Ryan Johnson. I can respect that. I mean, like I said, to me, it was just I just didn't care that much. It was so small for me; it didn't matter. But like I said, I did enjoy. Um, Now, I like the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. I don't like the
Yeah,
second one at all under any
yeah,
circumstance.
yeah. The second one was terrible. I found I found out that Alex Kurtzman like either produced it or wrote part of it or something like that, and
No,
I
that
was like,
explains a lot,
that's
doesn't
why it
it?
was bad. That's why it wasn't so good.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Somebody was like, Kurtzman was involved, and I'm like, oh,
That
now it
makes
makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. Yes,
I
because he destroys franchises.
I preferred something like the first Hellboy movie. Hellboy's really good.
Hellboy was
With
good.
Second
Yeah.
one not so
Perlman,
good, but
yes.
the third one has its shonky bits, but to the most part, the third one's good, and I'm gonna say that.
I disagree. I didn't really care for that reboot movie or that one. I didn't care for it, but I also have been very much admitting I don't know much about Hellboy in the comic books, so I just go off of what I saw in the movies. I have no idea if it's accurate to the lore or
Yeah,
not.
Hellboy comic.
No, I don't like the artwork in Hellboy.
I've only just heard of Hellboy comics. I'm now intrigued.
Oh yeah. I will say this. Doug Jones was in Hellboy. He played the Aqua guy or whatever.
Something safe.
Oh, Abraham Sapien.
Yeah,
Oh, Abe
yeah.
Sapien, yeah.
And like he's really the only thing I like about Discovery anyways, like his character. So I mean, like because he's just a good at his acting. He can take a piece of shit like Discovery and he can actually do a good job. You know what I mean? But
Oh yeah, the one good episode they had was the one where Michael Bitch doesn't show up until the very end.
Yeah. And
I was like, holy
he
shit! I actually felt like it was in a Star Trek episode for once.
Right. And Saru, like the character Saru, he was talking about Starfleet values in a way that Michael Burnham doesn't know what the hell, she doesn't give a fuck about that stuff. She doesn't care about Starfleet values, whereas Saru does. And I was just like, if they had made Saru the main character, I probably would have liked it a little more.
I think if Saru had been main, I kind of pointed that out. And then we're going to get the hell off of Discovery because we are not going to spend a lot of time on that shit.
Yeah.
I said, you want diversity in your cast? Put the first alien as the captain of a mainstream Star Trek show.
Yeah.
That would have been different. That would have been the different right there. You could have made him male, female, whatever you wanted. You could have put a fucking Shellyak in there for all I cared. Although, I don't know how you would have done that, but anyway.
They could have made them a brand new gender. If they're an alien, they don't have to abide by our laws. They can be any gender they want.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not. Yeah, like I said, we are not on. Let's go back to something positive. Let's talk about insane killers killing teenagers because they're having sex. Something with taste and style.
Yes.
For me, it was Freddy Krueger for me. I liked Michael Myers. Actually, here's the thing. This is how I watch Halloween. This is the only way I watch Halloween. I don't watch it any other way. Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween H2O. So the only 3 Halloweens I watch.
Mm-hmm.
I only watch those 3. The Jason movies, the Friday the 13th, I can watch all of them, but most of the time there's several I'll skip. But when it comes to Freddy movies, basically mine is Freddy 1.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, folks, I know it's a Nightmare on Elm Street, but just go with me here. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Freddy 1, Freddy 3, 4, 5, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Yeah, New Nightmare.
That is how I would binge them.
New Nightmare is good, but I always feel like it's a separate thing. Because it's not really part of the story. It's like bringing it into the real world. Yeah, they bring it into the real world where like the actors are playing themselves, and then when Freddy comes out, he's just like a a guy in a mask or whatever, and then suddenly I guess the way Wes Craven actually explained it was like, now that they stopped making Freddy movies, the demon has been released, something like that, and that demon has taken the form of Freddy Krueger,
Hmm.
something like that.
It's been a
It
while
was a
since
little
I've
weird.
seen.
It was a little weird.
It's been a while. It has been a while
Sounds like
since
an
I've seen it.
interesting concept, so.
But I don't hate that movie. I thought the new take on Freddy was interesting. I know that Wes Craven did not like the fact that they turned Freddy into a comedian, so he kind of reimagined him as something else. But what I loved about it though, he was just as menacing as he was in the first.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
But like I said, I like the only two that really I don't watch is pretty much Freddy 2 and Freddy's Dead.
What
I'll
about Freddy
watch the
versus
rest of them.
Jason?
Yes, I will watch that. Absolutely. Just for
I
the
have to
fucking
watch
hell
that.
of it.
I'll watch it, but it's definitely not one of my. It's just the writing. I don't like the writing. It's terrible.
I don't like the fact they didn't get the guy who was been playing Jason for so damn long.
Oh yeah, they should have had him too. That
Because he
that
really had the Bob. Was it Bob Kane? Was that his name?
yeah the
Let me look.
the one who played the Jason for the last few movies before then. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let me look.
Freddy versus Bob Ross. Now that's what I want to watch.
Oh God! Don't watch that
Hold on.
documentary I saw on Bob Ross because oh God, it's so sad.
Paint this bitch. Okay.
Well, the ending was sad. I would actually suggest watching it.
Well, I heard
Is
about
Bob
it.
Ross
It's
still alive?
he passed away a long time ago, but apparently like his family isn't getting any of the royalties from any Bob Ross thing that's coming out nowadays. They got robbed somehow.
They got screwed. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got screwed.
So
He did everything he wanted to do while he was alive with it, but unfortunately, what's going on with the rights and everything now is just if you watch it, if you listen to it, it's very heartbreaking. Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder
Okay.
was the guy we were thinking of.
okay.
That was the guy who was playing Jason the longest.
Yeah, so that's too bad they didn't have. But yeah, I really did not like the writing. It feels like Discovery writing, where it's like, what if Freddy they just completely like come up with the entire plot by themselves. It's like, what if Freddy just isn't powerful enough because people don't remember him, and maybe he released Jason so that he could like they figured out the whole fucking thing in like one scene. It was so dumb. And they're dumb kid. They were dumb stoner kids who are somehow intelligent enough to figure that out. Anyways,
I am sick of dumb stoner kids.
oh, that stoner kid too, the wannabe Jason Mewes,
Oh,
and that the one where like Freddy turns into a caterpillar and kills him, or he takes him over. He takes him over, and then like
God, I don't even remember that. It's been a while since I watched it.
yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he takes him over, and then like he uses his body to inject Jason with like sleep shit or whatever, like tranquilizer or whatever, and then like of course Jason just cuts the dude in half. Yeah, but then he passes out, and you have that entire scene where they have the kids in the back of the van with Jason sleeping.
Giving
They try to-
Jason mouth to mouth. I was like, what?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
it
my
was-
favorite.
It's not. Unfortunately, I think what they did was they just. I don't think I think Robert Engel did it best he could with what he
Yes.
was given.
Yes,
But-
Robert England. Yeah, he was fine.
But Robert England would put his heart and soul. He loved that character. He
Yeah.
he really cared about that character and how it was presented and stuff. And he was honored to be a part of that. Some people hate getting typecast. He was kind of like, I'm going to be remembered for something iconic.
I love his panels when he does panels as Freddy. Like he'll come out. Sometimes he'll come out in
now
like
he's passed
full.
away, right? Now he's passed away, hasn't he?
No, he's still alive. Robert Englund,
Robert
he's still
Englund's-
alive. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But like he's kind of retired now for the most part. But like he did a lot of panels back in the day where he would come in like full Freddy getup. And then, like, you know, people would ask him questions, he'd answer as Freddy. Sometimes he'd chase them down the stage a little bit, and then come back and sit down. But he was very, you know, you can tell that he had a lot of fun playing that character. He, you know, if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, just like they don't really know what to do with the characters anymore. I mean, after Freddy versus Jason flopped, they rebooted Freddy.
And you know what sucked is the guy that got to play him is the same guy who played Rorschach, and he's played in other stuff. And dude is a damn good actor.
He is. I have nothing against the actor who played him in the reboot, but just
that reboot was terrible.
It wasn't very good. Yeah, so I mean, I guess for now they just retired the franchise, but I think that's fine. If you don't have any good ideas, just, you know, I wouldn't mind another Freddy versus. I wouldn't mind them redoing Freddy versus Jason, but like with better writing.
All right, what were you gonna say?
They need to do another Jason movie, but it's a Jason Bourne and Jason as in the slasher killer guy crossover, and it's where Jason Bourne becomes Jason.
Okay.
I think if I remember correctly, there was talk one time, and I don't know how if this ever really got off the planning stage, but I'm sure most of us remember hearing there was talk of having a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
Yeah, that was supposed to happen.
I think
that was supposed to happen, but then when it bombed, it didn't. There's an interview where Robert Englund even like said like there's probably going to be a sequel.
I think here's the thing. I think you just take Jason out of the picture and just have Freddy versus Ash, because could you imagine how hilarious that movie would have been with their quips?
That would be good. Actually, yeah, I'm down. Sign me up.
I mean, just hearing Ash and then hearing hearing Freddy, because Jason doesn't say shit, so what's he going to contribute to this? But those two would just have way too much fun.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be like, "Damn you, ugly bitch! What'd you do?" You know, he'd come up with some quip about that.
I would love to see that. I'd love to see that. That's trippy. That would be trippy. And I guess you can bring in, you know, like in Ash versus Evil Dead, they brought in those kids. You might as well bring in one of them too. The cute one. Bring in the cute one.
Hey, what about this? What if Ash got control of Deadites and was using those against Freddy?
Oh, see, you and I are coming up with better ideas than the people who made Freddy versus Jason did, because, like, wow. I think that would be...
Maybe he doesn't even control the Deadites. Maybe he just brings the Deadites up, you know, just to, like, as a ditch effort to save his ass, because, well, let's be honest, Ash isn't the smartest guy in the world.
True. That's true. I love how dumb... He's just dumb luck. Yeah, he's a lot of dumb luck. I love it.
But I could see something like that. Yeah, like I said, take Jason out of the picture and just have it Ash versus Freddy. That would be something interesting. Just the quips, the jabs they would have. Say like every time he's like, could you think of all the fun shit Ash would be trying to do to stay awake? Give me that cocaine.
Oh. You know how Freddy can somehow can turn into different things. He can turn his glove into whatever. Like, it would be funny if for like a minute he turns his glove into like a chainsaw, like a mini chainsaw, and they have a chainsaw fight.
Yeah. Hey, Hollywood, we just gave you a great pitch for a movie, and I've never been to film school in my life. I just know good shit. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of Ash, I know what people because I listen. I know what fans of Ash want from Ash. We know what Freddy fans would want. I think if you did that, you'd have a fucking hit. I think it would be a hit with. But
you got to have Robert Englund play Freddy. That's
You just gotta. Well, actually, even if he's too old for it, just get somebody who's a look-alike and just
Sure.
have him voice it. Just have
there's
him
a
voice it.
there's a guy on YouTube. I said that he's really, really good. I can't remember his name. I'll have to look him up again, but he's really good. I'll show you I'll send those videos to you later.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think that would be. I think it would be funny as hell because you have two of the most over the top. You have one of the most over the top villains in horror and one of the most over top heroes in horror. I mean, I just feel like there could be some great. I mean, there could be just some great writing. I mean, bring Sam Raimi in for it. Bring Sam Raimi
I have
in.
really got one suggestion. Freddy Krueger playing Freddy.
Freddy Krueger playing who?
Freddy Krueger playing Freddy.
Freddy Krueger playing Freddy?
Yeah.
Due to illness, the role of Freddy Krueger will be played by
Freddy Krueger. And now, please welcome Freddy Krueger.
And for those of you who don't know, where
that's a Dennis
that
Leary
reference
thing.
comes from, go ahead.
That's a Dennis Leary thing. In the beginning of his No Cure for Cancer, he says, like due to illness. He does the same thing, but like it's Dennis Leary.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to illness, the part of Dennis Leary will be performed by Dennis Leary. Now, welcome, Dennis Leary.
Thank you, and fuck you.
Fuck you.
And he comes out like he's on cocaine, and he just does not stop. Like
no, he doesn't.
For like a whole hour, he just like wow.
What do you mean like he's on cocaine?
Hey,
he probably was on cocaine. How you doing?
What we got? What's going on in Ireland?
and restrictions are being eased and things like that, so life's getting back to normal. And I still have to wear a mask so I'm still stuck inside for the foreseeable.
Damn, we have places more restricted than California. What the hell?
Oh yeah, I've got.
For the most part, it's like, at least in San Diego, it's normal. Like it's mostly back to normal, except for certain businesses, because certain businesses still want to do that, or public transportation.
Yeah, I can't wear a mask because I've got asthma and I can't breathe through my nose that well.
Mm-hmm.
So when I wear a mask, I was saying this to NB there a while ago in DMs. Like, I basically had a panic attack at Christmas. Like, just trying to breathe
Yeah,
with a mask.
I remember us talking about that back then.
And then at my grandmother's funeral, I was pulling the mask forward secretly because if I got caught doing it, I would have been arrested.
If you want mask advice for a mask that doesn't cut off your airways, in fact, it's basically fucking useless. You need to grow a beard first and use one of these.
Oh.
There's like a 3-inch gap around your whole face when you wear it.
You're just
not wearing anything, buddy.
I just see a black screen.
Yeah, we just got a black screen here.
But no,
sorry, my phone said its pants.
Oh, you mean a dust protector? Yes, those things are not allowed here.
They basically don't cover the face. It's like,
yeah,
like I can literally stick my hand between my face and the mask because of my beard.
If I'm trying to buy one of them,
all right, guys, we're gonna talk geek stuff. We are not.
Yeah, but as I was saying,
fucking masks.
If you're doing a reboot, what you need to do is you need to have the guy who played Hellraiser, the guy who played Freddy, right? And one of the guys who played Jason, and the guy who played Michael, all sitting together at a table in one scene. Have a couple of their body stand-ins. And when the villain goes by, you just see Freddy go and say Hellraiser goes, If Freddy walks by, he goes, it was better back in my day. And Freddy just turns around and goes, I know.
No, I got a better one.
I think there's a Robot Chicken episode that does that.
Let's go with this one. You got Freddy, you got Jason, you got Leatherface, and Pumpkinhead, and all of a sudden Ghostface shows up and they say, nope, you're still at the kids' table.
No, they did do that. They did do that. They did one of those versions of like they're all living in a house, and then like a reality show and everything. And Ghostface is the one that gets booted that week or whatever. And then, so he looks all sad. He gives everybody a hug. He gives Freddy a hug, which is funny.
No, you know the meme Apocalypse Bingo? Whenever something happens, so there's this meme going around of this guy, and he has a bingo board on it. But whatever big thing happens, it's photoed to the top of it. Like, for talk's sake, when the oceans in July were on fire, it said, "Who had the oceans on fire in July?" And it's called Apocalypse Bingo. And there's all the stuff that's...
okay, so there's a name for it, because I played that last year, because last year really sucked.
Yeah. But what you should do is you should have...
Yeah, well, remember, remember, Jack, back about... Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention this. I thought it was so funny, that guy trying to out-California you on Twitter.
Oh, that Rob, that I can't remember his name. He's got like 21,000 subscribers, and then like he retweets that, or like he tweets whatever he says, and I'm like, he gets like 5 likes for that, and then like I retweet the fact that I've lived here like, oh yeah, you've lived there 15 years, I've lived here 37 years. So like,
yeah, I like it. Yeah, you're responsible,
and I got like 12 likes or something like that. So I got more likes than that guy, because I don't know, that guy's weird.
I hear weird.
You got a like from me, buddy. That was one of my likes that day.
If you want a weird horror movie, there's a horror movie in my country that is really classic in my country. It's called Shrooms, right? Where
it's bunch really of people called Shrooms.
Yes.
Okay.
Where a bunch of people go up the Irish mountains, because in Ireland shrooms grow wild all over the mountains. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they go up the mountains and they proceed to eat a shitload of shrooms and kill each other.
Oh, fun.
Oh, nice.
Including there's this one scene where a guy is having an argument with his girlfriend about sex, right? And then she runs away from him, and he proceeds to drive a hatchet through her head. But while he's there, she screams, she's like, "Baby, please don't kill me. I love you." And you hear this man's voice, and he's like, "Jerry, you don't need to do this. You're fucking high." And he turns around and goes, "How do you know I'm fucking high? I'm not that high. I'm a cow."
Hey.
Okay. I'll have to have the. Thankfully, I watch everything in subtitles, because if they talk as fast as you do when you get excited, folks,
they're actually from the countryside.
So, folks,
I don't recommend this.
I've had times
I don't recommend this if you're Irish. But have you ever seen the movie Black Sheep?
Yes,
I don't recommend Irishmen to watch this.
Yeah. Don't you mean a Scotsman or Welsh?
Yeah, any sheep shagger. I don't recommend them to watch that movie. But you should watch Black Sheep.
There is a scene where this guy proceeds to try and get a sheep to entertain him. Right?
Then he turns into one.
Yes. And the sheep ends up biting it off, and then all the sheep end up eating him.
So
yeah, exactly what's going to happen to the Irish.
You're muted.
I just wanted to say, Jane, Silent Bob Strike Back. No, if you were another sheep, would you fuck a sheep? Oh yeah, this ain't one of us. He fuck a sheep.
Hey, Milton, I forgot, buddy. Where do you live?
I live in New Zealand.
Okay.
Oh God, that must really turn you on.
I live in the South Island of New Zealand, so yeah, it's a mixture of everything.
I definitely think this is one of my first international ones here we have. We've got New Zealand, we got Ireland, we got California, and we got Indiana.
So 3 countries.
Yes, the country of California. Just kidding.
On the
Is it true
on the
that
continent.
California is super cool to the homeless?
No, if you really want to annoy Americans when they say that they're from America, you're like, okay, but which part of the continent?
Hmm. Yeah, because
Which part of
technically America is 2 continents. Yeah.
I got a DM from a friend saying he's going to kill me because he said on Independence Day, he put up on Facebook, he said, I would like to wish every single American a happy Independence Day, and it said, which part of Canada are you from?
Are you from the Russian part of Canada?
I
That's
think,
funny.
NB, I
Damn.
think I wished you a happy Treason Day, didn't I?
Yes, you did wish me a happy treason day.
Oh yeah.
Happy Treason Day,
So
motherfucker.
when are you guys gonna? So when are all you bastards gonna return back to England?
We're not.
When we get reparations.
I don't think they want. I
Don't
don't think
worry,
they
we
wanted
kicked
this in the
England
first
out of
place.
the Imperial Empire.
If I remember
I don't think
if I'm
the
not-
Empire wants us.
Hold on.
I don't think they want us back now.
I was going to
Wait.
say, if I remember correctly, the first few colony, like Virginia and everything that started, they were started by people who they didn't want in the country anymore. There was a lot of homeless people that they just decided to give them a boat and put them on a boat and send them to.
Actually,
the world.
the reformists.
That was Australia.
Yeah, that's Australia, because actually the pilgrims who went over actually went over because nobody in Europe wanted them. They were kicked out of England, and they were in the Netherlands where the boat set sail from. And
Right.
basically the prince of the Republic of the Netherlands put that two together. Basically, no, sorry, was it? One of the kings anyway.
Hey, guys. All right. I know I'm getting high here, but
Yeah.
it's not turn this into a history lesson. Nah, it's crazy. Like I said, it's crazy shit. But
What about a
So-
Star Trek horror movie? I've always
a
been
Star
thinking
Trek
about.
horror movie. Well,
Mhm.
maybe a horror episode.
They
I always
was
look
a-
at Devil in the Dark as both a horror episode and a morality episode.
I
That's why
think
it's
that
one of my favorites.
there was an episode of Enterprise where I can't remember exactly what it was, but they found a ship. It was a Vulcan ship, and the Vulcans had all lost their minds. So like
Yeah.
the way the cinematography kind of worked, it seemed like they were trying to go for horror in that episode.
Oh, that episode where they couldn't dream in TNG.
Yes.
And Troy was the only one who could dream, and she was getting nightmares. I would say that would be classified as a horror episode.
hold on.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Or psychological thriller. Sometimes they're the one and the same. Which psychological thriller.
Yeah, but-
if we're looking at really what it comes into in horror and things like that, psychological thrillers are my favorites. That's why American Psycho is so goddamn good.
Have
Mm.
you
One of
ever
my
seen
absolute-
Stepfather?
No, I have not seen Stepfather.
Stepfather is brilliant. It's about this guy who marries women, and he ends up killing them, right? And their families for money. And there's one part, and I think the line is brilliant. He's there, and they're like, Tom, and he's like, what? And he goes, yeah, he refers to himself and say, Andrew. And he's like, but your name's Tom. And he goes, oh yeah. Sorry, what name am I using again?
One of the but I really enjoyed, like I said, there was this movie. I was down in I think I was in South Carolina at the time. My wife and I were watching on Netflix. It was called Hush. And the whole thing about this movie is the girl is the main protagonist is deaf. So there are moments in this movie. And so what the thing is, there's some guy who comes there to try and kill her. Why? Who gives a fuck? The point is, he's a bad guy. And he's trying to get in. Now, the thing is, there are points in the movie where there is no sound. And I don't just mean no sound in music. I mean absolutely nothing.
Right.
And it really was well done. My wife and I'd gotten a little drunk, and so my wife and she was tired, so we went to bed, and we got up the next morning, and I had the movie back up on Netflix. I was about to start. She goes, "So we're going to finish that movie now, right?" And I said, "Yeah, that's what I was coming to get you to do." And it was made on a very, very small budget. I looked it up. It was made on $1 million budget, but it was so expertly well done that it was one of the, a psychological thriller that was just beautiful with minimal cast, minimal setting, and just the right tone. Guys, I recommend it. Watch that movie Hush. It's on Netflix. Most of your areas should have it. Give it a shot. I think you're really going to like it. And let me know when you see it. Let me know if you really liked it or not. Because I would love to have a discussion about that movie, because that was the movie that really really brought back things to me that, like, you don't need a big budget to do that. Oh, Hesta! Okay, folks, for those of you who don't know my little thing with him, it's I do this. Hesta! Hesta! Hesta's the puppets are going insane! Hesta, your mind! Hesta, your brain! Hesta!
I understood that reference.
Or, as I like to call him, Darth Wheezy.
Yeah, Darth Wheezy is another name for him.
But have any of you ever seen Haunter?
Oh, Darth Hester, if you want to come up on here, I'm going to drop it again in StreamYards. We're just randomly talking shit today, and I don't know about anybody else, but I think we're having a fucking blast.
I have a question about Star Wars. Why did Spock go to the brothel?
Oh, simple, because... Oh, it's simple, because he heard that the Borg Queen had tendrils and he had just gone into hentai.
It was his Ponfar time.
Yeah, but like I said, Hush was very well done as a psychological thriller. And I think the reason why I like psychological thrillers so much is basically Alfred Hitchcock. I would say Alfred Hitchcock movies. The Bird, Psycho, Vertigo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Alfred Hitchcock Presents show. The man was just a genius.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
There's this movie I absolutely love. It's called Haunter. It stars Abigail Breslin, right? Her dad goes psycho in the movie. And she's there, and every single night he does something weird, right? And then one night, all he sees, she just wakes up and she sees him going down on her with like a knife or something like that. Okay? That was a weird phrasing, I'm sorry. But yeah. Emmy was like, wait, what the fuck is he going to do? So, like, it was just him coming down towards the camera, right? And then she wakes up on her bed and she discovers something. After a while, it's the same days repeating over and over again. And then she discovers that there's stuff in the house that she's never seen. An iPad. A cell phone. It turns out that they're ghosts and they've been there since the 80s. And that her dad has been taken over by a demon. And that he's been in that house for over 150 years. And that he's now in the dad of the current family. So she finds a way to take over the body of the daughter in the current house. And she's there, and it's like, get her to record a video on an iPad and everything. And you see her trying to work modern technology. And then she leaves a notepad that says hit play. And she's like, boom. And you see the daughter talking about how weird her dad is and everything. And then it ends up that all the previous spirits of all the dead people he's ever murdered come back to help them.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely interesting. Hey, question for you guys. Is there a horror movie in any form or fashion that you've watched that you absolutely, no matter what, will not watch ever again?
Yes.
What do you got?
I don't know
What
its
do you got?
name, but it's the one that stars Miranda Cosgrove. The idea of it is so stupid. This guy's going to break into her house. Okay? Now, NB, I'm going to ask you for logic. Okay?
Okay.
You see me outside your house. Say I'm a big build dude, and I'm tapping on your window and with a machete, and I say I'm going to kill you. You don't have any pew pews, but I'm just saying I'm tapping on your window, and I'm like, tonight I'm coming back. I'm going to kill you. What are you doing? What are you going to do?
Grab my guns, call the police.
Okay, she goes, has a shower, and goes to bed.
That's the appropriate reaction.
It's like, huh? Okay, see you tonight. I'm going to bed.
I would draw a dotted line with a pair of scissors starting at the beginning of it on my neck, and I'd have a shower, put on my best clothes, and just wait at the door for them to arrive. Maybe with a couple of glasses of brandy.
A lot of cigarette and sing Kumbaya and say, "Bring it, bitch!"
But then she heard him banging and her door rattling, and she woke up and she's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "You fucking bitch!" Also, I will not watch the Conjuring movies. They are just too bloody ridiculous for me.
What about you, Milton? What you got any movie you'll never watch again? Milton, calling New Zealand.
Well, you can't hear us. I'm quite convinced that Black Sheep is listed as a porno in New Zealand.
Oh, hello?
Houston
Hey.
calling Major Tom.
Yeah, sorry, my audio shat its pants again. One movie I'd never watch again is The Blair Witch Project.
Which one?
Okay.
Okay.
Any one of them actually. The one I was shown when I was like 9 would be the worst one.
Any particular reason? What was your dislike for it?
I was 9 and it scared the crap out of me.
Gotcha. Okay. I can't remember when that movie came out, but I'm pretty sure I was either an adult or grown teenager. I don't remember because I wasn't impressed with the movie. But yeah, as a kid, I can see that. Because what I'm going to say is probably one some people would be like, "Oh, give me a break," but it's true. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, like I kind of agree with the Blair Witch Project. It wasn't like I wasn't really impressed with it. Like when I saw it in theaters, like I heard a lot of good stuff. I heard it was good, so I went to go see it, and it was just like, eh.
But what about one that scared you so much you won't watch again?
I don't know about that. Like, if it like, it's really hard to scare me. You know what I mean? Like I was
Your
watching
mama.
horror movie. I was watching stuff with my mom. I was watching Freddy movies with my mom when I was a toddler. So you know what I mean? Like, I have to think about that. I'd have to come back on. You have to come back on me for that.
Okay. Mine, Poltergeist.
Really?
Yes, Poltergeist. I cannot, guys. I swear to God, that even my wife agrees with me on that movie. That's like the one movie that is banned from my house.
Is it scary or what?
It scared the ever-loving shit out of me. I mean, I saw movies on Disney like Watcher in the Woods, which was fucking awesome, but also scared the shit out of me as a kid. But, no, Poltergeist just freaked me the fuck out. The whole TV thing, the whole static, the whole Carolyn, they're here. Dude, fuck. Ooh. No, and by the way, that's not me fucking acting. I can't act worth a shit. That movie terrified me. And everybody's like, just watch it again. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch it again. I never want to see it again.
I have a
I don't want to relive that.
Guys, you
I
know
don't care
that
if I'm an
Caroline is
adult.
dead?
What?
Caroline is dead.
Oh, the girl who played it. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that a long time ago. But like I said, I will never watch it again. I won't watch any of the 3 movies.
I know
ever.
something scarier than any of these movies, though. Right? One time, I was listening to an Irishman, right? And you know how
Okay.
Irish talk. Twiddly dee potatoes,
Yeah.
how are you? How's it going? How's it there? Over there, over there, over there, over there, over there. This guy was talking slowly and methodically so you could understand him. Ugh.
I know, right?
how dare he?
It's terrifying.
I don't know if I've ever heard Revan talk slow. Now I've had him talk slow enough where I can understand what he's saying, but oh boy, there have been times he gets on something that's like, you gotta slow down, buddy. I know where you're speaking English, but we can't figure out what the fuck you're saying.
Oh, and you still haven't heard me go full speed.
I don't think I could. It would probably sound like something
Irish people
talking
can.
code.
If he's like the Irish girl I know, he can talk so fast that literally not only stumbling over the words, but the words blend into one long word.
Hold on, if you give me a minute, I'll actually
Like
talk to you how
singing
fast
some-
I've spoken to some of my friends.
Now, hold on a second. So, guys, we're coming up on almost 90 minutes. I say we go about 1 hour, 45 minutes.
Okay.
I got one up to that point, but I got one last topic I want to bring up. And since we've been doing really well with the horror genre, I wanted to go with the golden age. Let's go back and maybe finish this off with the classic age, the Universal horror movies, and then maybe some of those other ones that one of my personal favorites that most people don't know about, but some do, and kind of go there and talk about, what we liked about that, even though it's black and white, it's very low budget, and things like that. Sound good? Sound like a great way to wrap this up?
Yeah, sure, whatever you want, man.
Okay,
Movies
awesome.
in black and white.
So, what did you guys? When it came to horror movies, I don't exactly know when I got involved in them. I mean, because it's like I said, I talk about psychological thrills. I'll talk about the classical horrors, or we'll talk about the slasher. I mean, we have to realize you can't. Somewhere along the lines, and I think we finally realized that you just can't lump the word horror into one box. There's so many subcategories of that it became time to really figure out, well, what are we talking about here? If you say a slasher movie, most of us will resonate with, okay, Freddy, Jason, Ghostface, something like that, Michael Myers. You say psychological thriller, people think like maybe an Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds. You bring up torture porn, people are going to think the Saw movies. If when you go into it, those categories do have the pieces that say, okay, this is what people would think about with this. And, you just can't put horror all in one box. And one of the things I loved about the Golden Age in Universal was, you look at, you really watch the Frankenstein movies. Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, which, by the way, I had never seen Bride of Frankenstein up until about 30 days ago. Or Son of Frankenstein. I had never seen them. I'd only ever seen the first movie. And as I'm watching them, you really get into, this is the one I really enjoyed the most out of it, partially because, it's like, who's really the monster? You really have that algorithm. Who's really the monster? Plus the lighting, the acting, everything's really well done in those. But my all-time favorite of those Universals, personally for me, is The Creature from the Black Lagoon. And I'm going to say why, because I look at it, even now, and I watched a lot of documentaries on it since I've had the time, and I found that there were two actors playing the creature. there was the one who was the swimmer, and then there was the one who was on land, because they were actually two separate types of suits. They tried to keep them as similar as possible. The other thing, the lighting in the Black Lagoon was just so eerily just gorgeous looking that just it was like, you know, for a movie of that time to look that crystal clear was just, to me, very, I don't know, maybe I understood that even as a young kid, but I just looked at it and I didn't care it was in black and white. In fact, I'm glad I didn't see it in color, because it's one of those movies that I think if it was in color, if they tried to put it in color, it would ruin it for me. There are some things that just need to be left black and white, and they don't need to be colored in, because it takes away something from the aesthetics of the movie.
For me,
Hold on a second. Jack, you went to film school. Would you agree with that assessment on some things?
Yeah, we talked about this last year too, because that I remember watching it, and I was actually impressed with how clear the underwater shots were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we did that video on that one, and we talked about it. It was just very well done. That's one of the things I remember about that particular movie. But I'll tell you one movie, and then I'll let you guys, we'll round it out with you guys. My favorite is in one of the Universal ones. This is, I have favorite Universals, but out of the non-Universal ones, the one that I love and I don't have yet, and I got to order it off of Amazon, is, has anybody seen, it's about 1950s era, movie called Them.
no, my grandfather wanted to show it to me, but no.
I think I saw it, but a long time ago, so I don't remember like what it's about or anything.
Okay, so it's basically a movie about nuclear-sized ants.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah, and it was really well done. It also had Leonard Nimoy in it too for a quick cameo before he was on, long before he was on Star Trek. My grandmother told me that, because my grandmother's who got me into TOS, and is predominantly 100% of the reason I'm a geek. And that I've seen all these great classic movies like Citizen Kane and stuff, and I was exposed to them as a child. And it's like I know how to respect these movies and understand them and understand the times of them. And, you know, that's what I love about being able to watch those things. Like, I remember watching The Outlaw Joe. In this, I'll shut up after this and let you guys finish up. But I remember watching a few weeks ago, it might have been a month or so, I was watching The Outlaw Josie Wales for the first time in probably 20 fucking years. And I could not believe how many lines I could remember that I was quoting throughout the movie. And there were scenes that were coming. I was like, oh, this is the scene. And, you know, one of the scenes, my favorite scene in the whole movie is, I forgot how it goes exactly, but he goes, "Wake up, Grandma. Hell's coming to breakfast."
Guys.
What's that?
I just had garlic bread for breakfast. Aren't I awesome? I just thought it was important that everybody knew this.
But yeah, once that moment came, that moment came with the Indians saying that, and it was like, "Hell's coming to breakfast." I was just like, "Oh my God." I was like, I had not even thought about that line in forever. And it was like, I just all of a sudden knew it was coming up. It was like, why the hell did I ever forget such a kick-ass line like that? You know, it was so interesting. And, you know, that's why I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go more, let's talk stuff like this. You know, let's pick some classics. Let's go that route. Let's remind people that there is great entertainment out there that they may never have seen. And they may think it's just too old or outside. Because like, no. Just give it a shot. You know, take it from
Underworld.
those of us
That was a good movie.
What's that?
Underworld was almost filmed at the beginning of my life. Underworld is a good movie. I mean, that movie's ancient.
Underworld.
I like that movie. Underworld's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
good.
Underworld. All right, what about you? What about you though? What kind of golden age horror movies do you like, Potato?
Um, literally anything Albert Hitchcock. I am a
Ah,
huge Hitchcock fan. Hitchcock fan.
Mm-hmm.
you and my grandmother would have been pen pals. Do you know what she
Hmm.
was reading? My grandmother was a night shift nurse all her life as an adult. You know what she was reading on her days off? Alfred Hitchcock, and spoiler, Alfred Hitchcock.
Nice. I my grandfather was a huge Hitchcock fan, and
Yeah.
then so's my mother. And my grandfather was born in the 20s, right? And he said that one of the scariest things that he ever saw, he never remembered the name of it. He said, but literally there was the first ever horror movie that he said went from silent to speaking. He said it was silent the entire time. He said, except that near the end of it, the guy just stood up and looked down, and he said, "Did you get that?" After he whispered something into her ear, and he said, when he spoke for the first time through an entire silent movie, and it's just the words, "Did you get that?" And then he drops the knife on the ground, and you hear the metal bouncing. He never forgot that.
Hmm.
He said
Now,
that.
you see, there's a reason why that was scary for him. Think about that. Going from only hearing silent films to now hearing words and sounds on there.
Yeah.
So, that's one of the things we have to sometimes sit back and, remind people. It's like, you got to understand what makes something scary for someone. That right there, dude, man, I'm going to have to clip that one and shorten it and just have that put up as a separate story right there. Because that's
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
Yeah, you can take it if you want.
That's what sees good.
So, what about you, Melton? You got any classics?
Classics.
Golden Age horror, black and white era.
No, I don't know. I have actually never seen a black and white movie. The only thing that I know from that era is evidently a great horror movie writer once said that he couldn't imagine anything more repulsive than an egg with a runny yolk or something like that.
Oh, speaking about black and white movies, I know this is not a horror movie, but you two might be interested. I found on YouTube a 1908 French silent movie of girl drinking milk. Right?
I'm not familiar with that.
But no, it sounds stupid.
Whatever
but it's
tickles your
actually
fancy.
okay. But no,
Was it the
and
Lumiere brothers?
no, I don't know who made it, but it was an old French movie of a guy recorded his daughter eating milk and playing with her cat.
I think that's a Lemire brother one. I think I know what you're talking about. It's
Little
just
girl-
that too. It's
yeah,
just
little
that,
girl-
right?
Yeah, little girl at a table drinking milk out of a bowl, and then her cat comes along with a pretty little collar on it.
Right, like 10, 15-second clip. Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Yeah. 1908. I saw the.
Man. Okay, Dave. Whew. Sit down, have a beer, man. Nurse that back. Woo.
I have a sore back. My name's Dave. Wah.
What about you? What about you, Jack? I mean, you went to film school and stuff. Your thoughts on the Golden Age, what you enjoyed, and if you want to go back to the silent era too, go for it.
I love Dracula, the original Dracula movie that they made.
Oh yes,
For Universal Monsters. I think they did a really good job with that. If we're gonna go silent films, I would.
Nosferatu.
I don't know. I mean, Nosferatu is actually very good.
Yes, I have seen Nosferatu, and yes, for a silent movie, it is freaking scary as shit. Dracula, I really enjoyed how they did the movie. Also, one of the things I loved was the use of lighting, shading, and the fog,
Mm-hmm.
and the way they were.
Oh, go ahead.
And the way they were able to apply the music. I've been starting to really pay attention to scores more now than I ever did, because I'm finding at some points scores really the music or the lack of music can actually, I think, ultimately make or break a scene.
True.
It
Does that
can.
make sense?
Yeah.
I'm just now realizing that.
Also, if you put the sound in the wrong place, like an emphasis on the wrong thing, that can really screw with a scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a director called George Méliès. He directed the Voyage to the Moon back in 1902.
Oh, I've seen that.
I love his little movies, because he figured out how to do special. He was one of the I consider him like the first official directors, because he figured out how to do. He was a magician, and then he realized he can do magic on film with just like some short effects. You can make something disappear by just pausing the recording and then moving out of the way and then continuing the recording. So it just seems like, oh, they've disappeared. He was one of the first people to figure out that you can do that on film, and he was so creative. He
If
was
you're
so
talking about
creative.
special effects, you have to admire the work that Charlie Chaplin put in for his special effects.
Charlie
Yes.
Chaplin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
especially
you know
the
what?
one-
Hey, guys, hold on a second. I got a great idea for this for next time. Because we're hitting 1:45,
Mhm.
and if I don't get off soon, Amanda Geek's gonna probably get mad at me because she only allocates me a little bit of time, and I got to make sure I'm done. But guys, no, hey, here's a great idea. Let's talk about that the next time around. The idea of the evolution of the movie, the evolution of sound effects, the evolution
Yeah,
of because I
definitely.
really think you guys hit something there when I said that. When you talked about your grandfather, him first hearing a talkie scare the crap out of him. I mean, yes, I mean you can understand that, and I want you to bring that up next time too.
Oh, I will.
Just and you think about the evolution of stuff like what you're talking about, these greats who people take stuff for granted. They go, oh, well, that looks cheap. Well, you know what, back then, if it wasn't for people like that who came up with these ideas and pioneered them, you wouldn't have Jurassic Park, you wouldn't have Avatar, you wouldn't have any of this stuff. So it's one of those things. I think sometimes these people are taking it for granted and think this has always been the way, and they're looking at the past stuff and it's like, well, that looks cheap. It's like,
Yeah.
you want to bitch slap them.
Look
Like,
at
how
TOS.
dare you respect these pioneers?
Yeah, look at TOS. People nowadays I've actually heard people nowadays calling TOS extraordinarily cheap looking.
Yeah. Which
Oh,
is
go fuck
bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I
Anyways.
said, guys, let's if any of you guys want to come back, Jack, what do you think? Sounds like a great topic for next Sunday.
Oh yeah, I can talk a lot about that stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm looking forward to doing
I'm down.
that. Okay, so normally, guys, I do the stream at 1 p.m. right now, Eastern Daylight Time. Today, I was late because I was going to get weed. Hey, I'll fucking admit it. I was going to get weed, and I got to go a long way to get it.
Wait,
But
you do weed? No.
Yeah, exactly. But we just kind of didn't really have a plan together this time. Normally we have a topic, but it was kind of random, and actually turned into be good because I thought we had a lot of fun stuff. And now we got a topic for next week. And like I said, let's talk about the evolution of this stuff. We got to think about the silent film, to the talkies, to theater, to these kind of things. The serials. Remember the serials?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
I was going
So
to do a live
Milton.
stream, but then I got
So guys, here's this. I
to
will.
my YouTube, then I got
So guys, what I'll do is, Milton, Revan, Jack, I'll send you guys a link next Sunday. We should be all good to go for 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's 11 for you. Jack, that's still working out?
Yeah, that
All right,
works
awesome, buddy. All right. So, Revan, I have no fucking clue what time that is for you.
Hold on. Jack, are you in the same time zone as Arizona?
I don't
Washington
think Arizona...
State?
No, he's in Pacific time zone.
Okay. Well, I'm 8 hours 8 hours ahead of Washington State. If that's any
8
good
hours?
here.
Okay. So, yeah, let's definitely do that next
I
time.
might be there if I'm not unconscious.
What's that?
You said it might be there if he's
I
not
said I might
unconscious.
be there if
Yeah,
I'm not.
that's fine. That's fine. If you can't make it, that's totally fine. Normally, this is Jack and I do these together, and then if people want to come in, I always invite them in. We always love having more people in to have some fun and get some stuff. So, Revan, yeah, you're welcome back. Milton, you're definitely welcome back. Anybody else who wants to join? All right, guys. This is MB Geek, Potato Revan, Milton Knowles, Jack Beers signing off.